Hello, we're continuing working on Vista Unit 4. Today we're going to focus on connecting to mathematics, which can be found on pages 142 to 145. As you navigate to your textbook on page 142, we are focusing on measurement and why it's necessary to be precise in math. How precise do you need to be? If you explore on your assignment tab, it's going to ask you, what do you want to measure? What unit of measurement makes the most sense? Precision makes a difference in mathematics. We use different units for different measurements. Choose the unit to measure each of the things. So what do you think you should use for the length of a cell phone? Inches, cups, miles, or seconds? What about a water bottle? The length of a school. In many parts of the world, they use the metric system. In the US, we use something called the customary system. Here, it tells you how the links, weights, capacity of volume, temperature, and time connect using the metric versus the US customary system. When you communicate, you need to decide how precise you need to be. So do you say to a friend, I will meet you at the bookstore in the morning? Or would you say, I will meet you at the bookstore at 11 a.m.? You should say, I will meet you at the bookstore at 11 a.m. You don't want your friend to wait all morning for you to arrive. Sometimes you don't need to be precise. For example, you could say, I'll do my homework sometime this weekend. How precisely you communicate depends on the situation. There is a learning section that you will read and listen to in your student assignment tab. You're going to choose whether or not you're going to be precise or not. So it says choose the answer. Which do you say to a friend? Which one do you say to a friend? So when you say the following sentences, which one do you think is needed to be precise versus not precise? You will do the same thing for this assignment. Remember, if you're not sure what it says, you can copy and paste it into Google Translate. As you move to page 144, it has you estimating measurement. Sometimes you don't need to be precise, you can estimate. To estimate means to make a strategic choice of number based on what you know. You do not know exactly how much your textbook weighs. You might estimate it weighs approximately 2 pounds. Sometimes you do not need to be precise. One bottle holds 1,934 milliliters. One bottle holds 2,167 milliliters. You could round up or round down to the liter. The bottle holds about 2 liters. You will read and listen to this on your assignment tab. You're going to estimate the measurement of the following items. So the time it takes to watch a soccer game. So about how long does a soccer game last? About 2 hours, about 7 hours, about 3 days. You would tell me approximately the time that it would take for each of these and hit submit. For each of the items, you're going to select a measurement tool from below and name the object that you measure with that tool. So for example, you could choose to use the ruler. What would you use a ruler for? What would you use a tape measure for? What would you use a thermometer for? What about a beaker? Measuring cups and spoons, a stopwatch, a clock. You would record yourself answering the question by saying, I would use the clock to tell time. Or I would use a stopwatch to, and then tell me what information would go with each of those items. Why does it matter? Being precise helps you communicate clearly, understand the use of the right units of measurement, make accurate mathematical representations, and calculate accurately. So you will read and listen to that information and click next after you've completed it. We can connect math to language arts. A prefix is a letter or group of letters at the beginning of the word. It changes the meaning of the word. The metric system uses prefixes before the base unit to indicate multiples of 10. The prefixes tell us about the size of the unit. So for example, the prefix is kilo, which means 1,000. So when you say in numbers, a kilo is 1,000. For each of these, you're going to convert the measurement. So a kilogram is how many grams. So a kilo means 1,000. So then how many grams would that be? A centa means 100th. So how many meters would that be? So remember, all of those base measurements are units of 1. And then you will meet the mathematicians by listening to the story about the mathematicians shown below or shown above.